Sometimes, love doesn't begin with a spark. Sometimes, it begins with a notification, a message, a late-night joke, an unexpected connection in the digital maze of the internet. This is the story of Eman and Ethan, a love that didn't begin with roses or moonlight, but with a simple hey in a group chat. And a friendship that evolved into a bond stronger than either of them ever imagined. They met through mutual friends in an online gaming community, an accidental introduction during a chaotic night of Overwatch. Eman wasn't even supposed to be online. She had a headache, an unfinished assignment, and a promise to sleep early. But boredom and the desire for connection pulled her into the Discord server. Ethan joined moments later, introduced by a friend with the line, "Yo, this is Ethan, he's chill, don't let him fool you." At first, it was casual, just banter in Discord chats, multiplayer battles, and group voice calls where trash talk flew faster than the bullets on screen. They were part of a large, noisy digital family, the kind that had inside jokes, server drama, and a shared Google Doc for memes. But amidst the chaos, Eman noticed Ethan's calm voice, his dry sense of humor, the way he always stayed a little longer after everyone else had logged off. And Ethan. He noticed how Eman could change the mood of a room with a single message. Her energy was infectious. Even when games got tense, she had a way of diffusing it with laughter or a ridiculous voice impression. Their friendship began like most digital ones do, sporadic DMs, shared Spotify links, commentary on shows they were both watching. Eman introduced Ethan to her favorite anime. Ethan sent her his favorite acoustic covers. They'd stay up until 2 a.m. discussing everything from mental health to what they'd do if they were invisible for a day. There was no pressure, no label. Just two people on opposite ends of the world finding solace in shared silence and chaotic conversations. Eman, I didn't think anything of it at first. I just liked talking to him. He was safe, familiar, easy to be around. Ethan, I looked forward to her texts. Even when the chat was silent, she'd send a meme or ask how my day was. That meant something. Weeks turned into months. Their daily check-ins became rituals. And those rituals became constants, like brushing your teeth or checking your notifications. They were each other's digital escape. Eman, a university student juggling work and school stress, found calm in Ethan's late-night pep talks. Ethan, dealing with a dead-end job and a quiet loneliness he rarely admitted to, found joy in Eman's chaotic voice notes and spontaneous video calls. Over time, their conversations turned more personal. They talked about dreams. Eman wanted to travel, maybe teach abroad. Ethan wanted to start a business, something small and meaningful. They discussed fears, family, what home meant to them. They showed each other the ugly and the beautiful. That's when something shifted. It was subtle at first. A longer pause before logging off. A nervous laugh during a voice call. A little too much eye contact during a late-night video chat. Eman, I'd catch myself smiling at my phone, and then wondering why. Ethan, I kept replaying her laugh in my head, like I was saving it. The confession came during a virtual movie night. They were watching Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and the timing felt oddly poetic. The movie ended, the call went quiet. Then Eman spoke. Eman, I think I like you. More than just like. Ethan, I was hoping you'd say that first. Because I feel the same. What followed were weeks of magic. Flirting. Long, drawn-out goodnights. Shared fantasies of meeting. Ethan would show her his favorite bookstore. Eman promised to cook for him. Even though she mostly survived on instant noodles, they sent care packages. They wrote handwritten letters. Digital love in its most sincere, heart-thumping form. But life, as it often does, had other plans. Distance complicated everything. Misunderstandings flared. Expectations collided with reality. One misread message turned into a fight. One unreturned call triggered anxiety. The cracks began to show. Eman, I didn't know how to handle it. One moment we were planning a visit, the next we were walking on eggshells. Ethan, I think we both got scared. Of losing what we had. Or maybe of wanting more than we thought we deserved. Eventually, the romance fizzled out. Not with a fight, but with silence. The kind of silence that creeps in and makes itself comfortable. They didn't stop talking entirely, but the tone shifted. Conversations were shorter. The memes felt forced. The vulnerability disappeared. Eman, it hurt more than I expected. Losing that version of us. Ethan, I kept pretending I was okay with just being friends again. But I wasn't. I missed us. Time passed. Eman graduated. Ethan changed jobs. They both grew, separately. Met other people. Tried dating. Nothing stuck. Sometimes, love has perfect timing. Other times, it arrives too early or too late. For a while, it seemed like their story had quietly ended. A beautiful almost. A memory tucked between Spotify playlists and archived Discord chats. Until one random Tuesday afternoon, Eman sent a message. Eman, hey, guess who's finally in your time zone? Ethan, no way. Are you serious? They met for coffee. A quiet cafe, neutral territory. No screens. No buffering. Just two familiar strangers. They hugged awkwardly, talked nervously, but soon, laughter returned soft at first, then louder, freer. They talked for hours. About the past. The silence. The what ifs. And this time, they didn't rush. There was something different about seeing each other in person. No curated selfies or carefully typed responses. Just presence. Eman, I think we needed that time apart. To grow. To understand who we are. Ethan, and now that we do, I don't want to waste another minute pretending I don't love you. They started slow. Dinner dates. Walks in the park. A weekend road trip where they argued over music but ended up singing loudly to every song anyway. They learned each other's quirks. How Ethan hated noisy alarms. How Eman always added cinnamon to her tea. How Ethan needed quiet to think, while Eman processed everything out loud. There were challenges, insecurities left over from their past, moments of doubt, but there was also trust. A trust that had been built over years. Message by message. Moment by moment. They moved in together a year later. Not out of necessity, but desire. Not because they needed each other, but because they chose each other. Home wasn't a place anymore. It was a person. It was each other. Now, on lazy Sundays, they laugh about how it all began. How a random group chat meant for gaming trash talk and meme drops gave them their forever. How the world told them online love was silly, temporary, unreal. And yet, here they were living proof that sometimes, love finds its way through Wi-Fi signals and time zones. Not through perfect meet cuties or epic gestures. But through consistency, kindness, and the courage to say hi. Eman, I found my best friend online. Lost him. And found him again. This time, for good. Ethan, it wasn't perfect. But it was real. And it was ours. From the very first ping to forever. In a world full of algorithms and curated lives, Eman and Ethan proved that love doesn't have to be loud to be true. Sometimes, it begins with a simple message. And ends with everything.